Dr. H. Wainhouse is the Distinguished Research Professor of Theology, Law, Culture, and Archaeology at Faith International University and Seminary in Tacoma, Washington. He and his wife Irina have taught and directed many tours in the Mediterranean and Middle East, including Israel, Greece, Egypt, Jordan, Italy, and Turkey, particularly with the Biblical Archaeological Society. Dr. House has taught biblical and theological studies at several universities and seminaries during a teaching career of over 50 years and has written 150 articles and 50 books, including the Evangelical Dictionary of World Religions, The Jesus Who Never Lived, Exposing False Christs and Finding the Real Jesus, the Zondervan Handbook of Biblical Archaeology, Israel, the Land and the People, an Evangelical Affirmation of God's Promises, and editor of the Nelson NKJV Study Bible and Nelson New Illustrated Bible Commentary. Dr. House is the general editor of the Evangelical Exegetical Commentary Series, 44 volumes, with logos, Faith Life. It is the knowledge amassed from these experiences, along with the assistance of biblical scholars at a variety of universities and seminaries throughout the world, that provides the information contained in his latest project, the House Visual Study Bible Online. Thank you for joining Archaeology in the Lands of the Bible with Dr. H. Wainhouse.
And welcome, welcome, welcome. And Faber is in the building.
He is.
He definitely is. And we're glad to have him. And when we're done, he'll know he has been had.
Yeah.
I said I am indeed. I'm sorry I was on mute there. glad to be here. Happy New Year. I haven't seen you since last year. Any of
Absolutely.
Well, right. It seems like just, a week ago, things were different.
you?
Yeah.
So,
Can I be heard?
I'm sorry?
All right.
You're good.
All right. Well, let's turn it over to Wayne, because I don't have anything pithy to say at the moment, but if it pops up, I'll interrupt you and I'll say it because I enjoy
You enjoy what?
breaking your train of thought.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Don's joke tonight about when pigs fly.
Yeah. When pigs fly. You know what? Just as I got on, for some reason, I got something in my throat.
Uh-oh.
I've gotten out a lozenge to put in and work that out. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway, it's good to have each of you, and we're missing some tonight for different reasons, but glad to have everyone who's here. We're going to talk about some pretty cool stuff tonight, and you have to follow along because we're going to introduce Jordan to you, and next week we're going to go to Sodom and check that out. That's a place I've been involved in excavation and been there a number of times, and Irina's been there, and I actually asked Irina if next week maybe she could come and sort of sit here with me and give you her impressions of Sodom, and I think that would be interesting. And Don's had her on by herself into his other program as he had us together. So feel free to ask questions. I've noticed you have the people who are caffeinated over there. I always get a kick out of that. I guess that means everybody drinks coffee there except MJ.
Well, they joined our club. We drink coffee for your protection.
MJ, did you say you drink coffee?
I drink coffee, but I kind of stopped drinking it in the evenings because then I'd be up until 10. So.
Right. Krista, glad to have you to watch over her and keep her out of the problems.
out of the can of coffee.
I tell you, no, it's enjoyable to have you all. It really is.
Appreciate you.
And
I wanted to tell you guys we have a special guest watching tonight. A man I met 35 years ago in Chile. He was a Assemblies of God missionary there for many, many years when I showed up and had prayed for fellowship with somebody and met him. His name's Don Cartledge. So he's watching from Lakeland, Florida.
Nice.
That's wonderful.
And I told him it'll be solid, great stuff. So we don't want to tell too many pithy jokes, I guess.
Well, we always start off.
There he is. He's
there
watching.
he is. Good to have you, Donald. Very much. We're going to start off a little light, but we're about to move into the stuff and get going to the academics.
And yes, we're glad to have you, Don. And as I mentioned to Faber, once we're done, you'll know you have been had. So.
Absolutely.
Well, Don has made available, as I said before, now a link that can be used every week, and you can share it with your friends, and have them watch, even though they're not a part of the in-house group.
The in crowd. They're not part of the in crowd.
I didn't
Yeah.
want to say that. But anyway,
Too late.
in the studio audience, I'll put it that
There
way.
you go. Studio.
Okay. Okay.
But we want everybody to come. I've did a lot of announcements today, and I've actually put it on my new website too. If you haven't seen my new website, it's still being developed. There's a lot of stuff there at hwhouse.com. When you go there, you'll really surprise you.
Cool.
So
Including all of the past of these videos that we've been doing on this archaeology.
that's right. All these are being videoed and will be on the website, along with all my systematic theology courses I've taught, every single class period. It's all there. And so there's a number of stuff you can look at. But I'm going to move on from that because I want to move. Don sort of controls the PowerPoint.
I control everything. So here we go. How about that?
Okay, we're going to move through this because we do have a lot to cover. But I want to talk. I've started in Jordan here. I moved, from where Paul was and others, and in Asia Minor, and then into Achaia, Greece, and the areas of there, Thrace, and so forth. We then have moved into Jordan, and eventually we're going to move into Israel. Then we're going to slow down and see a lot of things and talk about a lot of things. But let's move archaeology in the lands of the Bible in reference to Jordan, if you want to move ahead. And this is a statement I like. I put this actually on a website today, which is called Facebook.Bible Archaeology. It's a wonderful site, and I have lots of things on there I put. I deliberately put this on that website today. I said, this is one of my favorite statements by an archaeologist. Now, this man is not a real conservative, but he does believe very much that the Bible is credible. And so this is the statement may be stated categorically that no archaeological discovery has ever controverted a biblical reference. And I can read all the rest. You can read it. The point of it is, that's an important statement. It's a high view of Scripture. And some people, even today on the website, when I use that, we're trying to say, well, that's really going too far in understanding the relationship of archaeology and Scripture. But I don't think you're going to find anything that really is controverted. As a matter of fact, sometimes archaeologists have made all sorts of claims and denied the biblical text, and by the time that their own work came out, the new discoveries have been found that actually argued against their views.
Mm-hmm.
That happened at Hattusha, the Hittite kingdom. That happened at Tel Dan. It's happened a lot of places. The Bible keeps showing up as accurate. So that's my view of Scripture, and that's my view of archaeology. I just don't think it's necessary to follow that means. Biblical archaeology can be very exciting. Okay, let's move on. We're going to move through Jordan. Why the study of Jordan? Well, let's first of all look at the kinds of groups that were in Jordan. Now, you remember Jordan is east of modern-day Israel, and it's quite a place to visit. I enjoy Jordan, and it's been very calm over the years, and many recent years, because of the various kings that have been in charge. And so it's a place that has Petra, but it has all these other places. So let's keep moving. Why the study of Jordan? Well, let's look at it here. What I want you to do is concentrate on the right side of the Dead Sea, Sea of Galilee, River Jordan, that area. To your left is Capernaum and Nazareth and so forth. We're going to talk about that at great length later. What we're doing is moving to the right, toward the east, where you have the sites of Pella. Gives you a feel where they are. Look at Jerusalem and Pella. It's important to be able to see the distinction where they are. People, I think, went from Jerusalem to Pella at the time before the Romans conquered and destroyed Jerusalem in AD 70. One guy said I was wrong about that today, and I had to prove it wrong. But nonetheless, you have Pella, which is important, Gadara above them. And as you move up north, see Caesarea Philippi, you've heard of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where Peter said, you're the Messiah, the Son of the living God. Well, you're going down now. We're going to go down to the Sea of Galilee. What was that?
I don't know.
Anyway, we're going to going down the Sea of Galilee, and you see that, and then you to the right, you have what are called the cities of the Decapolis. That's a Greek places established by Alexander the Great when he came through. So they were basically all Greek. Scythopolis, for example, to the left, is ancient Bet Shean. So it's named Greek and then Hebrew, and that's Scythopolis. But Pella we're going to look at first, then we're going to look at Gerasa, I should say, Gadara, and a place called Gerasa, and we're going to get to that in a few moments. So I just wanted you to see where these places are and where we're going.
The Gadara and Gerasa right here. Okay.
That's Gerasa, Gadara, and Gerasa. And so we'll look at those.
Got it.
Now this is Pella. Jesus said in the biblical passage that there's going to be a problem. He's talking to the disciples, and the people should actually go to the mountains. And where would they go? Well, going up into the area of Pella is important because moving north and away and east, you're moving away from any interest of the Roman government and soldiers against you. In other words, they're coming down through Israel unto Jerusalem. But if you're moving actually northeast, you're moving across the line and going north, then actually you're not really connected to the battles that are going on inside Israel at the time of the coming of the Romans. So this is Pella, the mountains. Now, as you go into this area, you begin to see some things. Now, I deliberately made this the way it is. I went there one day. I'd never been to Pella. I've been several places in Jordan before, but I thought I need to go to Pella because that has a significance in Matthew 24. And you'll see barely in the background looks like a little temple thing there. And even to the far right, there's something down below. So let's move to the next slide. It gets bigger. Now, if you'll notice, you see, looking at the mountains to the right, you see these little bitty things sticking up. That's a temple. And also below you is also a temple. See the temple? So the one on the far right, northeast, is also a temple. So this is Pella, and this is probably where Christians ran to who heeded what Jesus said in Matthew 24. Because remember what happened? The disciples and him were over there on the Temple Mount, and they were admiring all the buildings, and they said, "Isn't this great? Look at all these beautiful things we have." And Jesus said, "Yes, and not one single one's going to be standing on another."
Right.
And he talks about everything's going to be dismantled. And when did that happen? When Jerusalem was dismantled. Basically, at this period, you've got to deal with the fact that it's probably when the Romans came, because that's what happened. They didn't take apart the walls, but they did destroy the city of Jerusalem in many ways, and particularly the Temple Mount. So that's Pella. Let's keep moving. And here's it updated. You can see a little closer. But this isn't really fantastic because it's so, it's lacking so much of the substance of the original temples. It really is in very great disrepair. Sometimes in the ancient world, some of these temples are well preserved and interesting to get in, and some are not. And this is an example of those that are not. But this was, in fact, a thriving community at one time, to which I believe probably Christians fled. And someone by the name of Ruth, hi, Ruth, says, "Hello, everyone."
She's there.
Good to have you. Okay, let's keep moving because I have a lot to go through. Madaba. Now, anybody ever heard of Madaba?
No.
No.
Okay. This, again, is in Jordan. It's to the left portion of Jordan as you're looking on the map up. And this is a Orthodox church that's located inside the city. Now, this city has, until I think recent times, there's been some changes, but basically has been a Christian community. And so this church is a very important Christian church in that it goes back many, many hundreds of years. And one thing that's important about this is that you have the oldest map of the ancient Near Eastern area anywhere. There's no map that is as good as what we're going to look at. It goes back into the 500s AD, but nonetheless, it preserves the history of the territory. So let's move to the next, and you'll see some guy there looking at things. And this is me pointing toward things. Now, what I'm pointing at, can anybody figure out what that is? You probably can't see it well enough.
It's a mosaic of some.
So, right on the floor.
Yeah, the floor. Look at the floor.
Something's
It's a
running.
mosaic map.
It's a map. It's a big map. There's a special thing I'm pointing at near the map.
That's the city of Jerusalem, isn't
That's
it?
the city of Jerusalem. We're going to get I wish I had a better picture. I kept looking for a better picture, but this is all I had to work with. So
There's a copy of this, Dr. House, in Jerusalem, and that's where I saw this map. They've recreated it in some market there in Jerusalem, and I saw that on the floor like all together.
yeah, that's in the Jewish section as you go down.
Mm-hmm.
As you have the columns that were the ancient streets there. In the time of Hadrian, who built that. And I know what you're saying. And you have a big thing on the wall.
Yeah,
it's visible. And I may have it here. I'm not sure. But let's keep moving, and I'll show you more. This is in the church. This gives you the size of it. What has happened there when you come down and look at it? Remember, this was done in the 500s. So in that period of time, it's lost a lot of its integrity as far as, the having it tend to be coming apart. I guess that happens in age, right?
Hey.
But it happens in maps too. So this is an example. Okay, keep moving.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Now this gives us a better upgraded picture. Now look with me here. This is how a lot of archaeologists have found ancient cities. They're not always that evident.
Right.
And so you look at this map and you say, let's see it. And you can see, where should I go look to dig? And so this map has been very important. But you see the city of Jerusalem and the street that goes through it. You see that? That's a street that goes through it. And if you were to go to the left there, or down left, that takes you to the exit that is the place that actually leads into places. You go through there. I'm trying to think of the name of the gate right now. My mind is not functioning always, still functioning from that surgery a little bit, forgetting things. But I know it, Damascus Gate. It'd take me a while for the thing to hit me. The Damascus Gate is the area to the left there coming out of Jerusalem, that little round area that's surrounded. And Hadrian at one time had his little statue there telling everybody how wonderful he was. And so that goes all the way through the city of Jerusalem there. So it's a fantastic, that's a lot of other words, just lower ground walking in the city. Oh no, here, so I'm going to say, let me ask you a question. You have up here toward the top of it, do you see the waterway, the river?
Yeah.
That's the Jordan River in this map. Now, if you were to look more to the left, that Jordan River takes you eventually up to something else, or does it? What could this be referring to? Is that the Jordan River that comes into the area of the Dead Sea?
Yes.
Will this be the Dead Sea here?
That's what I'm asking you to think about.
Oh, are those dead people?
To give us the answer.
Because the Sea of Galilee would be way off to the left.
Galilee is to the far left, because but here's a reason why immediately. They don't have boats roaming around the Dead Sea.
No.
You understand? You don't go fishing in the Dead Sea. There's definitely there is dead.
None the fish.
There are no fish alive. And if you jump in,
if they were, they would be really easy to catch because they're dead. So
yeah. So it's not a really good place to fish. Nor I have floated in the Dead Sea in a special area off a hotel there, and I actually brought a piece of it back with me, the salt. One time, just to have that as a memento. But that's an obvious situation that is in fact the Sea of Galilee we're talking about there. but it's problematic because you've got the city of Jerusalem out of proximity. It's not in connection with it. So I don't know. There's a little conundrum here. I'm not sure what the problem is. Can you see my problem as I'm reading?
Yeah. Maybe they just.
It's called artistic license, and you're
Yeah, I
thinking
was going to say.
that it's a scientific map. It isn't.
Yeah.
They just figured, oh, let's put the Sea of Galilee here because it's pretty.
Yeah, I've looked at this several times, and I've sort of thought, something doesn't look right.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that either is the Dead Sea or it's not. It's either the Jordan.
And it's a deadbolt.
Yeah. It's either what is called Kinneret, Yam Kinneret. That's what the Jews say. We say Sea of Galilee. I always tell people, whoever said Sea of Galilee in the Bible and translating really made a mistake. They should have gone to Israel first and looked at it. Israel, they would know that this was not a sea to begin with.
Right.
It's not any bigger than an average sized Texas sea. And so, lake.
Lake of Galilee.
So it's Yam, and it could be translated Yam Kinneret, but that's sort of what it is. They also was called Tiberias. And so it depends on how you call these things. We're going to do translation things tonight anyway. Keep moving forward then. That's enough of Madaba. This is just showing you other examples of it. Now, you see something there?
Yeah, that's odd that they're fish.
They're fish, and they're all alive, floating around.
Oh, there they are.
See?
They're
And so that
floating
may be going into, it's hard to say. It's probably going into the Jordan, but the map just may not be directly connected to how it actually is.
Is it a gazelle or something there?
Madaba, we haven't gone far, and we have a lot to go. So let's
Madaba.
Yeah. So okay. So yeah. So it's definitely not a scientific map, like Faber said. It looks like it's just giving you some areas of importance, sort of,
Right.
and objects of importance. Like, what is this? A gazelle up here?
No, could be an impala. I don't know.
Impala. And so I don't know what this is. Old barn.
I'll tell you what, it's not scientifically accurate because that gazelle or impala or whatever it is isn't running in front of someone's chariot.
Right.
Well, and look how giant the fish are compared to the impala.
Yeah.
Well, it's just showing Israel. That's all. It's just elements of the country.
So
Highlights.
Yep.
may not be exact in that respect. And there's a city of Jerusalem again, and this is more of a close-up. This is closer to what you saw, Faber, downstairs. It's still not quite there because that one doesn't. The one that you're talking about that's underneath the city in the Jewish quarter, it's really nice on the wall, and it doesn't have all the periphery around it.
Right.
The city of Jerusalem. Continue. Another example, and we can continue moving on. I think that's enough looking at that. Hold it. This is actually off one of the walls there.
It looks like it, yeah.
See what it says at the top? This isn't part of the Madaba. This says the Holy City of Jerusalem right up there. This is actually on the wall inside the city of Jerusalem. And that's just another example of the city of Jerusalem. Excuse me, that's a Church of the Holy Sepulchre.
Oh.
That is on the big map of Jerusalem, as people have done it. Now we're going to tackle this. I want to show you why the study is important here. You're covering major peoples that are found throughout the Bible. And so we especially like the Old Testament, Moab, Ammon, Aram, that's not very well known. But I want to keep you on this side of the seas and the River Jordan, because when we get to Israel, we're going to take time to learn the geography of the land of Israel. Okay? Right now, we won't do that. And so you do have the Ammonites who descended from Lot. Who was Lot?
This guy's nephew, Abraham's
nephew.
Yeah, and the guy who was willing to sacrifice and take the best land.
Yeah, right.
That's true.
He was going to suffer for Abraham.
Yeah.
We'll look at him in a moment. But that's Ammonites, and you had the Moabites.
Yeah.
Ruth came from that. Remember? She was Moabitess.
Yes.
And came to Jerusalem. And so there's things about the Moabites. By the way, you also have the that prophet Balaam,
Oh yeah.
who has had a lot to do with the Moabites. I even met a Moabite.
You what? Phew.
I taught a class at the Jordan Evangelical Theological Seminary a few times,
Oh.
and one of my classmates, he always said he's a Moabite.
Oh yeah.
In other
So
words,
you
he came from the piece of land that the Moabites lived in.
Oh. Can you prove it? He got
I got a
papers?
kick out of the guy. He was always saying, I'm a Moabite.
Oh, interesting.
And maybe he is if he lives in the same land.
Maybe.
Yeah. Then you had the Edomites, sons of Esau. Who was Esau?
Jacob's
Yes.
brother.
Jacob's brother.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they were not altogether friendly. We find that they went down to the place called Petra. We looked at Petra before.
Mm-hmm.
And these people, they lived, they fought and had a lot of success fighting by staying stationary and using the highlands
Mm-hmm.
when they fought people who came through these channels, and they were at their mercy, so to speak, because they couldn't maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
So there you have the Edomites from Esau, and then the Canaanites and the Perizzites. Now, I'll be honest with you. I had never heard, I was trying to think, where did I ever see in the Bible about Perizzites? And so that sounded too much like parasites
Right.
to me.
Mm-hmm.
But we know the Canaanites, but we find that the Perizzites, as they're defined, were people that related to Sodom and Gomorrah, and we'll get to that.
Mm. That's probably the way they were parasites.
It's just a humorous thing that connects.
It is. It is funny.
Let's move.
Think about it.
Now,
Yeah.
Gerasa, we're going to go here to an issue, and we'll tackle these. Gerasa is what we call Jerish today,
Mm.
and this is the place that begins our looking at the question of the pigs.
Ah.
I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop and read this here. Jesus, when he came to the other side into the country of the Gergesenes,
Mm-hmm.
2 people possessed by demons met him there, coming out of the tombs, exceedingly fierce, so that no one could pass that way. And then we have the issue of him casting out demons and the pigs. And as I'm reading this, I'm realizing that that's the wrong thing that's at the top, Gerasa. That should be Gergasa. But don't worry about it. We'll get into it here in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
But you have the issue of the pigs and the herd of pigs. And what I want to talk about, and I have actually in my Visual Study Bible, some of you have used it, I suspect. My Visual Study Bible, there is nothing like it in the world right now, I tell you for sure.
Mm.
And I've had a guy who's done major studies in this area on his own in reference to Bible study tools. And he sent me a letter that said, I've checked the top 100 in the internet, and not a single one is even close. And so this is going to be finished before too long.
Cool.
So we'll have the Visual Study Bible available that you'll be able to use. But you have the whole discussion here of 3 possible groups, and you wonder why do we have such confusion in the Bible here? Because you have, theoretically, people have argued that the pigs were connected to the Gadarenes. You have them to the people at what would be viewed today as Jerish or Gerasa,
Mm.
Gadara, and then you have Gergasa. You got 3 groups, and why would you have that? They're talking about each different translations have different places
Mm-hmm.
or different names for these people among whom the pigs were basically raised. They were Gentiles on the eastern shore there, and a boy was possessed by demons. And so, why would you have differences between Gerasa, Gergasa, and Gadara? So that's what I want to deal with tonight a little bit. What do you think? What's the problem?
They all sound alike. They all start with a G, and they got that Gurga some.
Yeah, why would the Bible have all differences? And the manuscripts have, some manuscripts have Gerasa, Some manuscripts have Gerasa, some have Gadara.
I see.
Why would the manuscripts read that way?
Different languages?
No,
Well, no.
Different people groups living there.
the people who translated didn't visit there. The people who did the manuscripts didn't visit there. That's a problem that develops in Bible manuscripts.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the only example of something like this. Scribes who were sitting there day after day, year after year, just copying manuscripts, oftentimes they would look at it and they would not really independently evaluate what they were looking at with things like this.
Mm-hmm.
So they end up getting different manuscripts having different spellings.
So those would be called discrepancies, maybe.
Yeah.
In the way they pronounced certain things.
Well, yeah, the pronunciations are
and the
close.
spelling. Yeah.
Well, Dr. House, I mean, one giant clue there is that this, wherever it is, it's got to be down by a cliff that goes into water.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why we know which one is the right one. Because, and we'll get into that in a moment.
Right.
But you have in modern day Jordan and ancient Jordan, these cities of the Decapolis, and one actually was one that Hadrian, when he came in the early portion of the 2nd century AD, he actually built a lot of things at one place called Jerish, or what is known as Gerasa. And so we're going to go through and look at these and talk about it. And by the way, I have a more lengthy discussion of this in the study Bible with pictures and everything. Okay, if you want to go look at it. Let's go. That's Gerasa. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you have indicating that there were demons on the eastern shore of the Sea of Galilee occurred in the country of the Gergesenes, which is what I think is true.
Mm-hmm.
The three suggested locations, though, could be Cursi, Gadara, as mentioned already, and Gerasa. Those are the three options. The problem is, and what Pastor Faber just said is important. The problem is that when you go to the place, only one forget about what you call them.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about X, Y, Z, and reference these are the places where the demons were cast
Right.
into pigs, Gentile pig owners. That Jews didn't do that.
Right.
And you say, what disqualifies the possibilities? And that's what we do. So we look at these suggestions. You have a place called Chersi on the eastern shore of the Sea of the Galilee. Well, see, the text doesn't say the Sea of Galilee per se there. It says they went down the sea. But to Gadara, a place called Umkase. Now, if you go to that, it's high in the mountains, overlooking some things I'm going to show you. I've got pictures on all this stuff. It's about 6 miles from the Sea of Galilee. It's unlikely that pigs run 6 miles to run into the sea.
Even if they were demon possessed.
I hadn't thought of that.
I'm just saying.
Demon possessed.
It might have gone at super speed, you know.
James, nobody's ever said that to me. It's really funny.
I think outside the box, okay? So.
It actually sounds like a comment of my friend Don Cartledge.
Uh-oh, is that good or bad?
Yeah, no, same kind of humor.
Ah.
That is fun. But anyway, of these cities, you got to look at it. The place called Umkase, and I've been there, looked over the area. It's called Gadara today. It's 6 miles from the sea. What's the likelihood of them going down there from there?
Not like
Then you have another place called Jerish or Gerasa, and it's 30 miles away.
Wow.
So when you start thinking about it, what's the only option if you're going to have pigs going down into the sea?
Yeah, distance is obviously a factor.
It has to be Gergesa. That's the proper place.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, Faber, did you tell me or somebody else said that we went down and I showed you guys right near the Sea of Galilee and near the place of Cursi, which is the place that's called Gergesa in the scriptures.
No, I've been there. I wasn't on your tour, but
Okay. Well, on my tour, somebody had mentioned that maybe it was Michael Havens who said this. Because I took the group and showed them this is the only place right here that you have a slope that goes down into the sea, it's likely the right place right here.
Mm.
And so you have to figure this thing out a little bit logically and in other ways, because sometimes the people who translate the Bible, here, take this. What's the likelihood if you had actually been a person in Britain doing the King James Version, let's say, and everybody was on the translation group was invited to go down to Israel and look around. If they got to the Sea of Galilee, they would be foolish to call it the Sea of Galilee, because it's not a sea.
Right.
It's a lake. And so, and when you study the history, you understand they called it a lake. So we translate things sometimes not consistent with the geography and this and the way the land is laid and what the cities are called.
Right.
That's part of our study.
Right. Makes
That
sense.
makes sense to you?
Yeah, makes sense. Now in the text, it's just all it says is that they were feeding at some distance from them, and that they rushed down a steep bank into the sea. So it had to be close by.
It have to be.
Yeah.
So you immediately you only have three options given in the manuscript stuff,
Right.
and in the translations,
Mm-hmm.
and you're forced by the information here
Yeah.
to go with Gerasa, what we call Kursi today. So let's keep moving. Then I want to show you some more. Now this is Gerasa. This is Jeris. That is actually the entrance that the conqueror of Jerusalem in 8135, Hadrian, what he built at one of the cities of the Decapolis. And this is a fantastic site, by the way. If anybody been to Jordan here on any of this?
I've been to Jordan, but not to this place.
Okay. Well, anyway, let's move through here. There's some really exciting things here. Go ahead and move one at a time. Let's look.
Next one.
Yeah. That's just another view of it. Keep moving. Now, we're moving into the circle area. It's like it's a center place. I've seen places like this in France, and maybe you've seen in some other places, where you build up an area in the middle with a column, and then you go around it, like with cars or what they did.
Oh yeah,
And so this is the same kind of thing where people would build this. It would be a major center of the Okay, so let's keep moving. I'm just going to show you some pieces of Jeris now. This is a really nice view.
Wow.
You can see that column in the middle. It goes around, and notice it spins off into these streets.
Yeah.
See that? So you're going with your chariot or whatever you got, a horse, around that, and you go up that way or you go down this way. It's a center area of the city of what we would call Jeris today.
It's an ancient roundabout.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's really quite fascinating to see. It's beautiful.
Got a lot of those here.
There's
So very safe. There's no stop or yield signs.
Oh no, they just go around in circles.
Yeah, they just kept going around in circles, right?
Yeah.
And now here's another example. This is one of these, like the spin-offs. You have spin-off, then you have these columns. Now probably some of these columns, according to different times, maybe even been covered according to what time, what season, and so forth. But you do have sometimes also in these kind of columns. You see this especially at Laodicea, where you have columns like this, in Asia Minor, where the chariot wheels over time build, cracks and so forth in them, and little I don't know what you call it, but areas that they would be caught.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
That's just another view, just another angle. Keep going. Now this gives a backup. Now we're looking at I'm standing here in a temple, taking this picture, and there was a temple to Jupiter there, and so you actually go this way, and you can see you go to the far left, and I already showed you that just a moment ago. Right. This is a pretty good sized site.
Yeah, it looks that way. Oh, who are these?
Now this is funny. I had a tour group with me when we did this, and we walked into the theater.
Oh,
beautiful theater where people sat by the thousands. And these guys were in there playing, and they've done this every time I've been there. But this particular time, we're walking in, and these guys are playing Amazing Grace.
Really?
Now, these are
On
Muslims.
bagpipes.
These are Muslims playing
Okay.
Amazing Grace. I thought, how ironic.
Yes, very much so. And those are bagpipes, you say?
They
Yeah,
are.
there really was. They play good music, and I just couldn't believe the song they
Wow.
were playing.
Yeah, fascinating is true.
Donald says this is fascinating.
That would have really been great if they did like.
you. And of course, all these ancient cities, all the Greek cities, they liked entertainment. Have you noticed this? Every place we go, they got big theaters for people, thousands of people.
Yeah,
Everybody went to the movie on Saturday night, so to speak. I mean, they
right,
they
exactly.
were always being entertained by things. And here's an example, even in Gerasa, people were on the stage there, either acting or singing or doing different kinds of things at once upon a time.
Some things never change, huh?
Yeah, people want entertainment,
Yeah.
relaxation.
It would have been really great if they were playing "Oh, When the Saints Go Marching In." That would have been awesome.
Well, I'd have to teach that to them, I guess.
Oh, okay.
But here you have them again, just a front shot to let you see.
Oh, nice. And they're all dressed up. Nice. Pretty cool.
Keep going.
So, well, I'm looking. It is bagpipes, isn't it?
Yes.
Huh.
There's a lot of people. I grew up playing bagpipes in a bagpipe band.
Yeah.
Did you really?
I did indeed. I was in what ended up being they were the world champions that were non-Scottish. It was a place out of Houston.
These guys right here. You.
No.
Oh.
No, I grew up in a
Oh, I was gonna
very
say.
Orthodox Anglican Episcopal school, and we had a
Oh.
bagpipe band, and they went on to be world champions. But the reason these guys play the bagpipes is, of course, this was in the British mandate for many years, and they picked it up from the British Army.
I figured.
Is that right?
Yeah,
That's
that's right.
A
Let's keep,
Muslim boy band.
Yeah.
now,
Did
part of
you say MJ?
what?
MJ said something I didn't hear her.
A Muslim boy band. Oh my god.
Muslim boy band. Muslim boy band.
The boy band, all four of them.
Bagpipe band. Yeah.
I kind of
Man.
missed that one.
Something also you find in the ancient world, and you found an example at Caesarea Maritima that we'll look at later, Caesarea by the sea. That's a palace built by Herod the Great.
Right.
They also have places for horses to run.
Oh,
Back one.
the one before,
Yeah, I think so.
the one we were just looking at. Can you go back, Mister? Yes.
Yeah, I want to show you. See, this is a place that had horse racing. And you had that at Caesarea Maritima also. Every city had entertainment of various sports. That's true also in Rome. Everywhere you go, they have places for entertainment, places for sports. People are pretty well the same.
I wanted to add something about this that's interesting about Roman influence today. Most don't understand, but Don Cartlidge would know. Every major city in Latin America has a large horse track. It's called a hippodromo.
Hippodromo, yeah.
And that's from the Roman influence that came. They don't have the bullfights, but they always have a horse racetrack. Argentina, Buenos Aires, all of them.
Yeah.
It's Roman influence, and it's shaped kind of like this,
Yeah. Very oblong.
Well, the Romans were, not always a nice, ethical people. But
They were brutes.
But nonetheless, they were had a lot of ingenuity.
Very good engineers too.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, continue.
Great builders. Look at this.
This is out of it. Should have been the one before, but that's fine. This is looking up from where the guys are playing the bagpipes.
So that would be them looking up.
One thing I always wondered about, particularly at when we were looking at stuff in Greece, or excuse me, in Turkey, when you have very steep steps that are stone going down,
Mhm.
I can't imagine some people would be falling from time to time.
I've always thought about the same thing.
Tumbling down that street.
Yeah, boy. I'm assuming not too many old people went there.
Yeah,
And we're assuming they didn't serve alcoholic beverages like beer and everything.
Oh, that would be even more disastrous.
Well, look with me very carefully. Go back. Look with me very carefully. You see to the right of the person there and to the left See those circles?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I have a picture here somewhere. Maybe it's out of order, but that's very important. I had one student at one side of the theater over here, on the other side, over the far side, and the one on the left would whisper just right,
Oh.
and the one to the far side could understand every word.
Yeah. Cool.
The stone carried the sound. It was crazy. I've never seen that before in my life.
Yeah.
What's the deal with the circles, though?
For acoustics, probably.
It's acoustics, yes. And what you have at where the theater was, if you go to these places, you can stand in the middle on a certain place. You'd have to look at it. A certain place. You stand there, and when you talk, you hear the sound coming out of you up and going up like this.
Yeah.
Very loud, like you had a speaker.
Yeah. That's why they shaped them that way. The cone shaped, and that makes the sound go forward and up.
Right. They had no problem being heard without all of our modern technology.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was fascinated by this. This is just some more looking at some places in Gerasa. We're going to move on.
Gerasa.
This is where the nymphs hang out.
The who?
The nymphs, Nymths.
Oh,
Nymphs.
never heard of them.
These were religious kinds of situations here.
Okay. Gotcha.
They had a pool. Water was important in the religion. Oh, here's a guy. So he's talking just a little bit into that, and you can hear on the other side.
Gee.
Don't badmouth anyone while you're there.
Right.
Continue on. We can keep going. This is now Gadara is high in the mountains, and this is looking down. I purposely have 3 pictures here for you to look at because I want you to get a feel for it. On this side of the mountain you see there, that is a Gentile area. On the far side of the Sea of Galilee is Jewish.
Nice.
So there's a separation of the sea between the groups. Now, if you're on this, go back. If you're on this side, this actually has the road to Damascus that Paul would have gone.
Oh, okay.
And you can see the road there when you get closer. But I want you to see that very slightly, that is in fact Lake Kinneret, Sea of Galilee.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Go on. That's a little bit bigger picture of it where you can see we're getting closer in. But that's again the sea, and you have Tiberias, I think you can see on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Continue. Was that a new picture? Oh, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
This right here now is showing you a little closer in. There's a community there, and that is in fact the area through which Paul walked all the way up to Damascus. He would have gone around the mountains, not on top of them, but by them and up into the area that actually have these mountains are such that they, they're sticking there like this, and then there's openings, little tunnels all the way around all these mountains that people walk. But it wouldn't be very, very productive to try to walk over them.
Right.
That just shows you closer in the community and where Paul would have walked in that area. Now, this is just on top of Mkates. That's Arabic. And this is the place of Gadara.
Gadara.
So every place has these Corinthian or some other form of tops. Those look Corinthian to me, but anyway, continue on. Now Gerasa. This is Kersey. This is right on the sea. Now I'm not going to spend time reading all this to you.
This is where we think the pygmies were, huh?
Yeah. And you can read this in my study Bible if you want to, but I'm not going to take time to read it all. But the point that I want to make is that when it says the country of the Gergesenes, that's correct. Gadarenes, Gerasenes, Gergesenes. And so when you start working through these, I wish that translators would go to the biblical sites and look them over before they translate the Bible. And by the way, that's not just true then, it's true now.
Yeah.
I find some unusual translations for people who have not studied the biblical context. historically and geographically and such. Okay?
Sounds good.
So I think that's the place. Continue on.
All right, we just flipped the country of Gergesenes. Go past that one now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Now, this is the last thing I'm going to show you in reference to this. To the left there, you actually have a place, and you can't see it real well, but can you see it's above that that church with all the dark basalt stones?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
The one on the left, that's what that is. That's the church on the right. So I'm showing you both. But the one on the left, if you look up closely, it looks like it has two big holes up there. That actually was a place that a monk used to live.
What?
Years ago. Yeah, in the days of the early centuries of the church. Okay. So
Okay.
that's looking down on Kersey, which is the place that we're looking. Now, the ancient city of Sodom is next week. And so what I want to do right now is just give you a brief introduction, and I mean brief, and then accept any questions.
Okay.
Continue. We're going to look at Sodom. We're stopping right there. I want to show you what we're talking about. Now, you see the areas of Moab. We looked at that before, and Ammon and Aram, and again, we're not going to go over into Israel right now on the western side. But if you will look at the Sea of Salt, they actually call it in the Old Testament the Salt Sea. We call it the
Dead Sea.
Dead
Let's see.
Both are appropriate. Salt is because it is salty, and that's the reason everything in there is dead. So, I've floated around in it before, always closer to the shore.
I have too. It's kind of interesting because I can't swim. Usually I just sink, but you can't sink there.
You can't sneak in that. And matter of fact, what I'm going to show you a couple of things in anticipation of next week. If you look at the very bottom of that, where it says Moab, going down to the little piece of the water, that's where a lot of people believe, right to the south of that water place, going to the south there, a bit farther, right there, believe that to be the place of Sodom. And we're going to talk about that. That's a place that's been held for a long time. And William Foxfall Albright, who was a brilliant archaeologist, when he went there was nothing else that you could figure out, because the place we're going to look at was not in any way excavated at the point. And it became viewed based on the fact that there was salt, that there actually had been that structure when somehow the various punishment from God came down and hit, you broke up everything. And that was sort of viewed as the place of Sodom for a long, long time. Now, if you go up north to the right of the Sea of Galilee, of the
the Lake of Galilee,
of the Dead Sea, go up a little bit with your arrow thing there, Don.
like around Moab.
No. We want to go up by the water here. Go to the left.
Where to the left? Where do I go?
That's water, right there to the right.
The water.
That's called the Dead Sea right there by Moab. There we are. Now, that goes up to the top of it. Keep going up right there. At the top of that, to the left, if you'll look carefully, to the left of it, northwest, that says Jericho.
Right.
That's
Oh,
important.
here, right here.
Right here, that's Jericho. And so to the right are other little cities that we looked at before. But if you look at the very top of the Salt Sea, or what is called the Dead Sea, right at the very top of it, where's that little arrow?
Cursor, right.
What are you looking for now here?
Right there. Now stay there. The top of that sea of salt right there, you'll see the Jordan River going north.
Right.
Oh, okay,
See
that's
that?
here.
That's the Jordan River going north. Except
Okay.
the Jordan River actually flows south. It floats into the Dead Sea. It goes south. Now, to the top of that, you see then the Jordan River, right? You see the Sea of Galilee.
Right.
That's the next one. That's fresh water. You can swim in it, fish float in it. But from that, the water is coming from the mountains
Mm.
south. And what they do, they rush through a place called Tel Dan. And in Tel Dan, when I take tour groups there and we go to Tel Dan, we always go to the place the sea is. The river that is floating from the mountains that goes into the Sea of Galilee. And we fill up our water jugs because the water there is purer than you can buy in the store.
Hmm.
It's cold.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It's a very interesting experience when you do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's tail down. But getting our perspective again, so you have the Sea of Galilee is coming south and it twists. By the way, these maps never do it right. The thing twists far more than what you see in these maps.
A lot of
But
squiggly.
it gets down to Jericho, goes right by it, and where the top of the Dead Sea is to the right, heading east, is where, in fact, Tal Ahamam, the probable site for Sodom, was.
Mm.
Now, let me show you something that's interesting. If you take the arrow, go up again, go up to Jericho. That's Jericho. Go a little bit more to the northwest.
Northwest.
Northwest. Okay. West is to the left.
The other west.
You're going east.
Going east.
Military west. Military west.
Now,
I'm sorry. I'm lost. What are you saying now?
Go to the top of the Salt Sea.
From Jericho, go west to the left.
And then from Jericho, you go west, northwest. See, up a little bit, up. Okay. Now, when you're there, you're too high, but that's fine. You're in that area in between Ai and Bethel.
Mm.
And then remember, Ai's where Jericho, when Joshua came, they were defeated at first, and then Achan, and then they went back and they won.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Bethel is where Abraham and Lot were met, and they were looking at the city of Sodom. Now, I want you to think of this with me. They're looking at the Sea of Sodom, but there are mountains in between them and what? Could they see to the south of the Salt Sea at the place at the bottom?
Oh, no, that's too far.
You can't look through mountains.
And it's too far.
You can't look 20 miles south.
Right.
So it's unlikely that when Lot and Abram, it said that they looked at Sodom in the text, that they couldn't look through mountains and look telescopically. They're not super people. Okay. So, but if you look at it and go to the southeast, you're looking directly at the place called Tal Ahamam.
Mm.
And that's going to make a lot of sense to you when we talk about this next week. We're going to focus on Tal Ahamam. Okay.
And that kind of makes a little bit of more sense in that area because of the salt. Because when Lot's wife turns to salt, there's a relation there, I think, to me.
Well, and that's why a lot of people though went to the bottom to the south of the Dead Sea, thinking of that. But remember, there are more salt deposits than at the south there. And you did have a meteorite shower that came down.
Right.
And then you've got to deal with the fact of how far did she get away from Sodom
before
she actually was covered with salt.
Right.
That is really fascinating. I was doing a little research while we were talking about the Dead Sea, about life in the Dead Sea.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering, was there any point in time that there were actually fish or any type of life form living there? And there are actually in 2011 freshwater springs, very intricate, like a what you call it. Anyways, there are a lot of freshwater springs that feed up into it from way down deep below, and they have some very small life forms that actually survive there, and it causes the water to ripple. So I wonder, what is the where did all the salt come from? Obviously, you can get that from mineral deposits. Well, how does that all seep in? And, is it ever going to 100% go dry and become a salt flat, But if the springs are there,
can you envision that if you take the length of the salt sea, the Dead Sea, take
Mhm.
the length of it, and realize it's all full of salt. You don't need to go to the bottom to find the salt. It's at the top too.
It's
Mhm.
totally saturated.
Saturated, yes. Now, vision that there's, and by the way, some scientists have discovered this, and I was at an archaeological meeting 2 years ago. They've been working on this over in that area.
Mhm.
They discovered, like in Russia, remember in Russia when you had that massive meteorite shower that came in?
Oh,
Had
yeah.
major impact in Russia in the mountains. That same kind of activity took place in the place we're thinking of. It's in the plain area of Sodom and Gomorrah. So when that came down, it hit the Salt Sea, it hit everything else around it with all these meteorite showers. It was a massive one. It came
Oh,
there
it had to be, yeah.
in the days of when Lot and so forth were there. Now remember, Lot and his wife and Abe and who else am I missing? There's another. But anyway, Lot and his wife, when they were escaping from Sodom and Gomorrah, or I should say, Gomorrah is a later city as you're heading down. But when they were escaping from Sodom, how far were they south of that before the meteorite shower hit?
Mm-hmm.
See, because if they'd been there with a meteor shower, they wouldn't have
That would have been
escaped either.
right.
So how far south were they? And then when was the salt deposit floating into the air so massive that it came down and basically surrounded her?
Right.
She stuck too close and
not- yeah.
moved on with
Right.
with 2 daughters, I think.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense. That shower probably had a lot of impact on the Salt Sea, had impact on the ground, and she was probably not like, it's not like Lot was like 100 yards in front of her and she was just not keeping up. He had actually stayed back in the area, not wanting to leave it, and they had moved now north. They headed south.
Right. So
Away.
she got caught in the area of the
Yeah, I don't think she was trying to run away from the salt
Mm-mm.
and all that kind of stuff. I think she had not traveled very far at all, like
Right.
the rest of them had traveled north to the south.
That makes sense. Yeah.
We don't know how long it took. It may have taken a day or two for them to walk away. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, this
Warren-
is kind of interesting. If I can add, it says this is from the Ben Gurion Institute. Their study reveals complex springs hundreds of feet long and as deep as 90 feet, 30 meters. The springs appear from the seafloor through craters as large as 45 feet in diameter and 60 feet deep, with steep, finely laminated walls and alternating layers of sediment and minerals with little microbiological life forms
That's
growing.
pretty serious, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Pretty
Yeah,
serious.
that's probably the only thing that can live out there.
So
but- Yeah.
I say I don't think of Lot, and he's only 100 yards away. I think he's probably miles away because she just decided to stay around.
At least half mile or more. Yeah.
See, I think she would see people envision. She just sort of stuck a little bit behind them. And
Yeah. They're like right behind them or something. Yeah.
I don't think that's what happened there.
Part of the issue with the Dead Sea is that it's called a terminal lake. It doesn't have outlets.
Yeah.
So everything falls into it, and then the evaporation and the heat, as the water evaporates, it leaves the salts and minerals behind. And then even if you get more water coming in, it starts to salt up the rest of that water coming in.
And it also depends on how close you are to the shore of the Dead Sea.
Exactly.
Yeah, Dr. House, aren't there prophecies that someday fish and everything will be restored to the
In Revelation.
Dead Sea?
There's also one
That the Dead Sea will be restored? I don't know.
That it'll be, full of fish and in other words, fresh again. I can't remember.
I really don't know that. It may be there, and
Maybe MJ can look it up for next week or something.
okay. Let's see. I think let's see. How far did we get into that? I know it's time to sort of go now, but where are we?
As far as the slides,
Yeah,
Well,
just quickly.
We're already 4 slides into Sodom, so
Yeah, I want to see how far we just click it real quick.
I gotta bring it back up then.
click, click, click. Mhm. Very interesting stuff, though.
Okay, it looks like you're about halfway through your Sodom slides now.
Okay. So I want to say I think we're about done with that, and because I want to, next week we're going to basically move into Sodom and stuff. I just wasn't sure if I missed anything in particular.
Well, 1 second here. Get back here. Okay.
Oh, somebody's got a notification bell really loud.
Someone keeps getting notifications. I don't know who it is.
I don't know. It's not me.
Well, I think we pretty well covered it, didn't we?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, we're going into Sodom next time, right?
Yeah.
So this sort of gives you a view. Now, when we get to Sodom, we're going to have more time to discuss some things there that are really cool. And so we'll look forward to next week.
Yeah.
Well, good
Okay.
night, everybody.
Bless you. Have a new year start.
Yes. We're off to a running start.
Well with you. I appreciate each of you being here. I hope you
All
learned
right.
a few things.
We're going to end the stream now for now, and we'll pick it up next week.
Next week.